All right, our next step in our felony defense series. So what I call this our investigation stage. So you've been arrested, the charges have been filed against you, we've done the plea and arraignment, we've got a pre-trial coming up 2-3 months, whatever it is. So here's going to be sort of a dead spot where it's going to look to you like not a lot is happening. We've sent our discovery, we sent our FOIA, we're getting that back. Think of this as like we're doing our strategy for how best are we going to defend this case. So now we're taking the evidence that they have, we're going to have some questions for you as we're going through it. We might say like, all right, they claim to have 2 witnesses that saw you do this. Where were you at that time? Do we have anybody who can back that up for you? We're going to be doing our legal research of other cases. Because remember, no matter what you're charged with, there's hundreds or maybe thousands of published decisions about this charge. So we're looking at past cases, what worked, what didn't work, what evidence can we get excluded, what exactly does the prosecutor have to prove once it gets to trial. As you've seen, it's scary how easy it is to arrest somebody and charge them with a felony. But it's a different level of proof of what they actually have to do when they get to trial. We're digging through all this, seeing what all they actually have. Can they really prove the case? What are the past cases that are good for you? What are the past cases that are bad for you? The big part about having a private attorney here is we're putting a hell of a lot more work into it than the prosecutor. So keep in mind, the prosecutor's off over there dealing with thousands of other cases. We got a team devoted to yours. If there's any way to win this thing, we're going to find it. What you might see in this stage, we'll send something like, hey client, this is an approach we were thinking about, but turns out it's not going to work and here's why. And we're going to give that to you. As we're honing in on what's going to work, then we're going to turn that to make our focus. And that's what we're going to emphasize in our strategy. So we'll certainly be keeping you informed as this is going on. There's just not a whole lot for you to do. There's not a whole lot for you to give us. The biggest thing for you to do is just make sure you stay out of trouble. What I tell people is at this stage, if you're accused of a crime, that's okay. And it happens all the time. It's not the end of the world. But if you pick up a new charge for something, now it looks like you've got a problem. So what I tell people, if you're out at the bar, whatever, and things are escalating, looking like there's going to be a fight, just get out of there. Somebody's being mean to you, saying ugly things, just get out of that situation. Because whatever we're having to defend over here for you, you pick up another charge for battery or assault or whatever else, that's what's going to make it worse for you. So the main thing is just going through life normal, just keeping a low profile, and it's going to help us with the prosecutor as this is going on, that you're not getting into trouble, that you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, keeping a job, all that sort of thing. But it's a lot of internal in-house work at this point that sometimes will go on for 2 or 3 months before we really get ready to file a motion. And what some lawyers will do, they'll just fire off a motion the second they think about it. We don't do that. We like to come up with the idea, we like to test it and really be 100%. That's the best thing to do before we file it. It's kind of like the old adage of sharpening the axe before you go cut down the tree. But that's the process that we're going to be in here. Once we get that solidified on our end, we're probably going to have some homework for you. And a big one is on the witnesses. Because one thing to get ready for, especially in these bigger cases, a lot of times people will want to help you, but they don't want to come to court. You're sitting here evaluating this, okay, we can go to trial, well, I can use this guy as a witness, I can use my sister, shoot, and all that. What you're going to file, what you get ready for. Most folks get nervous about coming to court for any reason. And then all of a sudden they'll say things like, well, I can't go because I work. I can't do it because of this. If I can send a letter, I'll be happy to do that. But a letter isn't going to help. But we're going to have to be making a long, hard look at what witnesses do we actually have that are for you. And out of those, which ones can we actually rely on to actually be here for us? And so then as we're finding things that are going to help us with the case or really show that it's one that shouldn't have been filed or that you should win, then we could go to the prosecutor with some specifics other than just, hey, I wish you would drop this. Because remember, that's what all the other lawyers are doing. They're just running over going, hey, would you reduce this, and not really giving them a reason to. What we're doing is we're showing them that we're pouring a hell of a lot more work into this than anyone else. Then if they want to go to trial, that they're going to have their hands full because we're turning over every stone to find every possible way to get you out of this. But during this investigative stage, it might look to you like not a lot is happening. We're doing a lot of the background work. We're going to keep you updated on it, and then you'll see it reflected in some motions, which we will address in the next video. All right, thanks.